Hi, everybody. Hola from Puerto Rico. My name is Milagros, and I live in this beautiful island in a time where hurricane season is going on. Um, I've been invited by Livy and Hero Arts to give you a mixed media project today, and I'm super excited about doing this with you and showing you how to do some upcycling. Our planet do needs desperately for us to create some sort of change. And this is what we're working with today to create this. Some sort of homage to the Together stamp that says we can do anything, we can create a better world. So hi everybody. Oh my God, I see tons of people. Hola Zulma. So I'm excited to be here. So let's I tend to be an overachiever, and when I was thinking what I wanted to show you, I found out that there was, maybe you don't pack as much as I do, but you do work with double-sided tape. So this ran off on me, and I thought that maybe I can pack two projects at the same time. Hola Ligia, hola Rene. Tons of people from Puerto Rico. I'm so excited. Thank you for joining. So I am going to switch cameras and start working because that's how I roll. And let's see if I can do this so that you can have, yeah, you have me. See, I'm trying to see if, nope. Apparently my camera only wants to work in a little space. I don't know why, because I've tried this several times. All right. I want to do the two projects, and I'll probably do them simultaneously. This is a roll of packing tape, and I try to, this little piece helps me measure the amount of paper that I'll need to cover my roll inside and out. So that's my guide. And everybody has a trimmer, so this part is not too much mixed media because we're working with paper. And we're gonna do this twice because we need to cover the inside and the outside. I am going to give you a sneak peek of a project that is upcoming in the new Somerset holiday. And you guys will know how to be able to create it. One thing that I truly liked was from this stamp set, all the words are truly important. So I thought I wanted these to be wrapped around my project, and I wanted to create this using embossing powder. So we're gonna use some gold because, we're creating something for the holidays. And I want to stamp as, let's see. I love the part that says we can do anything. And I'm not using a block because this has the perfect separation and the perfect width of my paper. So all I have to do is take care of just putting the gold embossing powder. I'm not finicky putting the embossing powder. I just dump the whole thing. I don't know how you work that, but I'm like, I dump the whole thing. And what I wanted to do was use the whole thing. So for instance, if I'm doing the We Can Do Anything, then I use the Stand Strong on the next one. And I dump my powder again. Pretty much I need to put it back. Otherwise I won't be able to put anything else. And maybe I'm overdoing what I'm doing, because when I wrap it, I'll probably need less, but I'd rather have more than less. So here we go with the all rice. And this is the last time we're putting the powders. Anybody who's new to the hobby knows that this is revealing embossing powder is just absolutely magical. It's just, something that grabs you for life. I am going to put a little bit of a mute while I burn this, so you don't have to listen to the heat gun. So pretty much every single sentiment here is perfection. It's something that we all can use, and look at all that shine with Hero Arts gold. So that's my outside, and now we're gonna do the inside. What I wanted to show you that the stencil that you use can actually be anything. Um, this this set is from the Bold Flowers, and it's a summer stencil, but I think it looks like fireworks. This is a layering stencil, and this part to me is like fireworks. So I thought this is what I want to use. But then, while I was cutting my greenery from this absolutely stunning set, look at that. I have a perfect stencil as well. So when you have stuff that works this well, don't be afraid to save it and use it as a stencil, because it's just perfect. I mean, it's something that, again, it's green with the environment, and it's something that we can use and we can upcycle. So this is that part of the stencil that to me looks like fireworks. It could be any of these parts. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use the glitter stencil paste, because look at this shine. So use your spatula and you can work this generously because, I mean, you want all this glitter to shine on. And that sound that you hear, it's like that scraping. I think it's just magical listening to all this glitter going on. Now see that sparkle? That's what I want on my inside part. I'm going to flip it because this part here is just perfect for my fireworks effect. I mean, we're working with Christmas, so you want it nice and shiny. Something that you can do when you're working with paste is you can drop embossing powder to this area, and you're going to be able to raise it even more. That's the part I want to save for project number 2. So we'll do both things at the same time right now. I'm going to clean my spatula, and I'm going to ask a certain helper that I have here to clean this for me. Te puedes meter en el baño, hacer lo que tú quieras. Okay, you know that there's a bundle going in that you can buy the spatula, the paste, the stencil. So I'm pretty sure it's the stencil or one stencil that is similar to that. So I thought, I'm doing Christmas, but Halloween is pretty close. So let's do brick wall on my tiny circle while this dry, because I don't want to put the heat gun for my shimmery paste to dry. I'm going to set these two aside, and I am going to cut see every week I do a ton of art journaling. I think that's what I'm most known for. And I like to incorporate stamps at the same time that I incorporate stencils, and I sort of give them my own twist. So I wanted to use either the witch or the pumpkin because they're just so cute. But if I only use this part of the stencil, they're not going to have anywhere to stand. So I am going to show you how to do a place where they can stand. And then we're going to block that part to create kind of like a sidewalk with a brick wall behind. So we're going to use a ruler. And I think they're tiny enough that, let's stand one on my sidewalk. And see, yep, see, she'd be able to stand where I'm thinking. And to be able to truly make it a sidewalk, we're going to do another line. And now you're going to do this. And then you're coming down here, and that gives the illusion that she's really on a sidewalk. See, we did one line here, we did a second line here, and now what I'm going to do is block this part. I can even use what I was using for, and this time, instead of using the glitter paste, we're going to do something rough. We're going to use this super uber stencil with the paste, because here are paste is awesome. And now I'm going to show you how to put the embossing powders here. And this is why what we all are doing is called mixed media, because we're putting paste, we're putting embossing, we're doing also we're doing watercolor, we're going above and beyond. So now I have a wall, and on that wall I actually moved it a little bit more. Oh, and if you see some white, I also have a tendency to not run and clean my stencils if I'm using watercolor. It's a bad habit, but I work with 10 things at the same time. So I'm supposed to have the brick. This stuff is magic. I don't know if you've tried this, but this embossing powder will give you a brick effect. And we're gonna cut the excess of this. Let's see. Yep. It actually says brick. It actually says brick. You want me to unmute this, right? So, I mean, this is actually like heavy bricks. It's such a cool embossing powder, I tell you. It's like the bomb. And I think I need to cut my circle that I don't see anymore because of my bricks. In order to set up my stage. Hopefully I'm like right where I should be. Otherwise we'll have to do it again. Okay, let's see. Yep, we have a brick wall. So I'm setting that one aside because I want to work with what's going to be inside the circle. So this is a foil plate. And I know that there's also a stamp. And I know that some of you don't have a glimmer machine to use with foil. So if you don't and you have a cutting machine, don't be afraid to use an embossing, a foil plate, because you can do a deboss. So that's what I did. I debossed my plate, and what you do is you run it through the machine in the sandwich just as if you were using an embossing folder, and it just, I mean, it's magic stuff how it works. And what I did was I used my circle to trim it. And have you had a chance to see Hero Art's watercolor, liquid watercolors in neon? that's what I did with the other half. So this is pending some work. It's coming. So this is the one that we're doing officially. And we want to cut the circle. And I don't want to draw around, draw around it, because I don't want to, I want to keep it as intact as I can. And this part here is not going to be, you're not going to be able to see much. I want to save as much as I can. So instead of drawing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around. And this is watercolor paper. And the reason I use watercolor paper is because we're going to be painting this with the liquid watercolors. And I like the cold press watercolor paper. It's sort of like doesn't have as much grain, and it really runs beautiful. So now I have this part that I can save and I can use. And if I cut like a small rectangle here, I can have a pretty bookmark that I can give away. See, this is the part that I saved from the original that I worked. So that's some extra that you have for your next project. It's not going to be enough to create a circle. So I don't know if you know about Hero Art's watercolor, liquid watercolors, but I'm in love with them. Ever since I tried the first one, they're just magic. And this grouping that I have here makes for the best skin tones. And this one is gold. See, Hero Art's gold. This one comes in a set. You have to buy the pair, but it's so worth it because, I mean, it's truly shiny and sparkly and, all the good things. So this is how I like to work with my watercolors. I have a brush that, as you can see, had some color in it because that's how I roll. And since I am doing faces, I don't want to go like really into like wetting the whole paper because then it would bleed too much. So what I like to do is take a drop and I'll put some cocoa because I don't know, what skin tones I'm going to give. I absolutely love coffee. In the total sense, because being a Puerto Rican means that we have access to the best coffee in the world. The art print brown sort of like has a strawberry tint, so it's not brown. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it pretty soon. And the last one is terracotta. So I'm just going to drop stuff in there. And since my phone decided to be vertical today, what I'm going to do is I am going to come and take a little bit of the art print brown, and I am going to begin with the neck. That's something that I always tell my students. Always begin with the neck when you're working with a face because you don't know how strong your paint is going to be. And you want to do this with a delicate touch. So see how there's less paint on my brush as I'm working on the face, so it's not so scary. And the cool thing about the plate is that it debosses the face design. And so what I'm doing is I'm following the lines carefully. I'm avoiding the eyes because I can paint with a marker their faces. And I'm going to leave, let her be and just, come back later, because that's one of the important things when you're working with watercolor is to let let the paint work its magic and sort of like dry. I mean, you see my dirty hand. It washes with water, so don't be afraid to. The reason I do this a lot is because it helps me know how much water and how much paint I have on my brush, and that way it helps to know that it's not going to be as strong, and I can come and do a second coat if I need to. So I'm going to just, let it be. And now I'm coming back a little bit stronger because I think it's a cool lip color, because it's sort of like rosy, and I'm not doing any lipstick or anything hard. I'm just, just working some colors. And I think I'm going with coffee now. So see, it's such a spectacular color. Coffee is just a beautiful, beautiful tone. And you can mix it with the art print. You can mix it with the terracotta, and you can create a different skin tone, which is, I mean, I think it's like the perfect medium to work. And I think it's also part of the bundle that Levy advertised. So make sure you check that out, because I mean, this watercolor is fantastic. Let's see the terracotta so that you see it's sort of like it's got a like a reddish tone, kinda. So we're gonna work our reddish here. I think I don't remember seeing a black per se. So I didn't give any hair colors to my paintings. I decided just to do the skin tones and work some some pen work with them, and do the gold. So that's for sure what we're using. So let's see if we can do I don't remember which one is this, but I know it's different. So here we go. I always like to go for the neck first. That way I can tone down my colors. I get in the zone and I forget that you're listening. This is like one of my favorite things to do, is painting. I can do this for hours on end. And I think paint is such a healing medium. It's just one of those things. Okay, I think we need another coffee girl, because I want everybody to be different. And this one has eyeglasses like me, so she's gonna get some cool shades pretty soon. I think we need another one with this skin tone. The cool thing is that this is small. See, I think I'm going back with the art prints and doing some lip work, because I think it's just a cool tone for working the lip area. And I have just one more. Let's see, let's do coffee because that's my thing. Do any of you have, I know there's friends of mine and people I know from Puerto Rico here in the group, but who's a coffee drinker and who's a tea drinker in the group? I'm gonna go back to the pinkish and do some of those lips. Even his, I love that, he's got the cool beard going for him. Okay, one thing the girls know me for is that I leave my jars open and I'm a menace. And now for the gold. I mean, look at this. You can drop this here and I think it's gonna be, see how much that shines? I mean, it's such a fabulous work. Okay, I'm gonna have to change some of her neckline because I dropped too much, but that's all right. So everybody's getting some sort of gold in their clothing. When it dries such, so super shiny. I think, it could be golden hairs and all of that. I'm since I'm working standing, I haven't been able to see your comments, but I promise that I'll come back and sit down and write every doubt that you have, and I'll check and see if I can answer anything that you may have a doubt with. Because that's part of how I roll. I do this, get all excited and all in the zone working, and then I realized like somebody visited me live and I didn't even have an idea. Okay, so I left your. Okay, I'm going to let the gold dry for a little bit, and we're halfway into the hour. So that's what's going to be inside of that. And I need that gold to settle before I do any pen work on my faces. So I'm going to set that aside. And I wanted to show you that once you have your brickwork done, you can use your hero wax. And with wax, what I like to do is I like to put it in my hand and rub it off. I want the less I have on my hands, the better. See how I'm dirtying up my bricks? I mean, it's really subtle. I don't want a ton of black on my bricks. I want the bricks to shine. So I'm removing some of the wax that I'm picking up. And see how the speckles of the brick embossing powder, they pick the wax up. I think, see, I think it's like a magic combo, these two these two things together. So we're dirtying it up because I'm doing Halloween and it cannot be too pretty. And, you know, the wax comes in white and gold and black. I think it comes in red. So you got all these possibilities depending on the work that you're doing to accent a relief work. You can even do it with an embossing folder. Come up and pick up some of what is raised. So I'm sort of like, like, is it dirty enough? Yeah. Now, I don't have any black with the watercolor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the black wax and I'm going to put it here on my table. And I'm going to come, don't use your watercolor brush for this, because this is, you know, one of these things that I truly imagine as a possibility. I need gray for my sidewalk. So I wish I would have used my watercolor paper for this, because I would have been able to make it move better. This is just regular cardstock. So now I have this spot here, but you know, I can put my trick-or-treater in that area and everything's gonna be fine. You know how I drew a line here? I'm going to come make a shadow, and I'm using the wax as my medium to paint. So I'm going to accent that line and sort of like create a shadow on the sidewalk. And repeat the same thing going towards the bottom. So that way, see? I think I can, you know, dirty up my wall as well. So when you do that, remember to use some watercolor paper because it's gonna run even better. And since the street is here, which probably we won't be able to see once it's inside my circle, but let's do it the darkest in that area and put it aside to dry. And remember to wash really well that brush. And instead of, because I don't know how much time we have to work, but I am going to do, where's my witch? I am going to do the witch. And the reason I'm going to do the witch is that I don't know if you know about the two-tone sprays. So I thought that maybe gotta leave it aside, okay. Maybe I can spray some of the two-tone and even spray more water. This now I'm using watercolor paper, but I don't know if you've tried this magic, but I mean two-tone sprays are the bomb. See? So I want all this color to be her dress. And I can smoosh this in a art journal page. I can move it around with my brush. And I can use this as a background. So I'm going to let this dry and then we come back and cut it so that she has a purple dress. And I think I need to clean this. Otherwise everything's going to be purple. I am going to stamp her over some watercolor paper. I think I have a smaller piece because I'm just going to be using her, because I want to manage, I want to give you as much as I can today. And when my background purple dries, I am going to stamp her dress and maybe her witchy hat. You see the gold on the two-tone spray? Sorry about that, but you have to listen to to my music here. The heat gun music. So now I have a cool dress for her when she goes out partying. I think it's pretty much almost dry. So we'll do her quick. I should have known that I needed more than 1 jar of water, because I know me. Now, this is a good idea. I mean, she's a peg doll, so we're going to do some wood on her stand. And I'm going to do her hands real quick with some of the coffee and clean my brush. I don't know if I should give her a kind of like maybe a pinkish hue. Let's see. This, I dropped this bottle live. I cried. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much I cried because this pink is so pretty. And I lost most of my bottle. Has it ever happened to you that your favorite color gets dumped because you're clumsy while you're working? So I just want to give her some sweet cheeks. And I want to do it with cute hot pink. Also, for the hair, we can do some gold hair. Why not? So she's a blondie like me. Shiny blondie. Witchy girl. So I'm setting her aside, and now I'm doing some fussy cutting. Okay. I want to be able to finish one project. And I'm watching the time. I get all carried away. We're going to do some double adhesive in some areas. You don't need to, cover the whole thing. You actually only need it for beginning to end. So we're doing the outside, and I'm going to cover the whole thing. And I'm going to wrap it as tight as I can. See, I love that part. So I'm hiding this one, and I'm putting the tape on this part. So that's done. Now for the inside, you want this part to be underneath because you want to hide your seams. And this is too long, I know. And I also, this is going to be the underside, so I want this to start and end where I will hide it with the greenery. So I'm putting it inside. And I need this to be as tight as I can. See, this itty bitty here is extra, and so I'm gonna cut that away. And this part here, I like to use a crocodile to just punch a hole here, so that way I go all the way through here, and I loop a pearl inside. So let's do some details here before I glue this on her. I'm doing the dark shades. I could also do them like, open and just do the frames. But I think she looks so cool that way. And just, let your deboss line be the guide. You don't have to be super artist. You just have to follow the line. Because it's, it's already done for you. I think I'm going to leave his beard and his eyebrows white. And I'm just doing sort of like a coma, but it gives the illusion of an eye. And that's all you need. We are gluing this to the back of my project. And since this is cardboard and this is paper, you can use the Hero Arts precision glue. See, I'm trying to look, where's my top, where's my bottom, and this is my back. So I'm going to put a generous amount of glue here, and I'm going to wrap it around the circle that I cut while I go look for my crocodile. You can use a pearl as a stopper, and you can weave some paper, Where's my glue? My glue, my glue, my glue. Okay. So I will put my stopper right here so that it doesn't go down. And while this dries, I caught a ton of greenery from that set. And aren't you loving these pine cones? Oh my word, these are just stunning. So you don't need to paint this outside. All this cardboard that you see is gonna get covered by the beautiful glitter stencil paste. So this is paper, and what we're going to do is start moving around. And this is, you know, how we are, scrapbookers, florists, all of that. We wear all of these hats. This is your chance to be the interior decorator. And you can move these branches and use them any way you like. You can make them as puffy as you want. You can mix. There's this pretty one that has like the holly leaves. And so we're putting that, and that shows out. Here we go. We have another one. You can put as many as you like. I think this one is stupendous. And if you know, if you wanted to cover the whole area, you could, because then you won't have to cover the cardboard as much. But I like the idea of using the pine cones as the centerpiece. And I think white on white looks super elegant. And so you're gonna take your glitter paste, and my spatula should be here somewhere. And this is how we are going to cover up everything. We're going to be using the paste to cover the cardboard. Plus, we are also going to use the paste to give sparkle to our greenery. Okay, not that much. But you want to let this, you know, dry on you. And this way, you are able to create a Christmas ornament with pretty much an upcycling project that doesn't take you that much time, and you can replicate it in different widths. There are many rolls and many sizes, so you can use these in so many different ways. So what I did was I wanted it together to hang somewhere, so I die cut the word backwards and front to sandwich it together and roll it underneath. So I'm going to bring over the other project that I wanted to show you, because I think, if I put my witch here, you know how we love making shakers. And the cool thing about making a shake, the hard thing about making a shaker, tell me if you're with me on that, is trying to cover the thing so that the things don't escape. So I think with this, we're good to go, because we have the whole depth here. And so I can put I promise I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram page, and you can go look it up when I put my witch inside, because I don't want to go over the hour. But I'm going to put my witch here, and if I wanted, I could cut a piece of acetate here and just drop the things and just shake it. And I also left what was left from here, because you can use an upcycled piece of foil and just, use whatever was left on the roll, because it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to use it in your paper projects. So that way you lift up some of the foil and you're going to have a pretty cover. See, you're going to have a beautiful outside finish for your I think this is for sure going to be a shaker. I'm going to have my witch standing on the brick wall ready for her trick-or-treating, and see if you have any comments, and and um emergency glitter. Okay, I am going to put myself back. Let's see if I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to say goodbye to you. Maybe change this format of my camera. Anyway, oh, I'm so glad that you like the project. Yeah, I mean, we have to be really careful with the environment. See, this is where I did the hole for the crocodile and put the pearl as a stopper. And you can put a pearl right inside so that it serves as a stopper both ways. This is a tiny piece of crafter's wire, and I sandwich my together. And see, it's a whole piece. It stands there perfectly. It works as a shadow box as well, Barbara. You're right. Sure, Cindy. I'll link all the dies that I use and the plates that I used, and yeah, let's see the foiling. This is the easiest foiling on the planet. Let's see. Let's see, like the last seconds that I'm live. Let's see some of that easy foiling again. Yep. It's a clean way, and it also helps using some of those foils that you have no use for. So I'm going to finish my witch, put up the acetate and some sparkles inside, and have her trick-or-treating. And thank you so much for spending some time with me. It was really fun, and I bid you adios, as we say in Puerto Rico. Bye.